The Levant is the geographical region bordering the Mediterranean, roughly between Egypt and Anatolia. The southern Levant is roughly encompassed by Israel, the Palestinian territories, Jordan, and the southern sections of Syria and Lebanon. Modern-day usage. Today, the term Southern Levant is primarily found in the fields of archaeology and history. The term has been used by authors wishing to present a strictly geographical description. Scholars have adopted the term Levant to identify the region due to it being a wider, yet relevant, cultural corpus that does not have the political overtones of Syria-Palestine, though the term has also been criticized as imprecise. 2 academic journals were recently launched. Journal of Levantine Studies, published by Van Leer Jerusalem Institute, and the Levantine Review, published by Boston College. The journal Levant has been published since 1969, while Egypt and Levante has been published since 1990. History. The archaeology of the southern Levant is generally conceived as a series of phases or stages in human cultural and evolutional development based, for the most part, on tool technology for early prehistoric, protohistoric and early historic periods. Later phases are generally associated with historical periods and are named accordingly. While there is no single, accepted sequence that all archaeologists agree upon, the basic conventions indicate a number of Stone Ages, followed by a Copper, Stone Age, in turn followed by a Bronze Age. The names given to them, derived from the Greek, are also used widely for other regions. The different ages in turn are often divided up into sequential or sometimes parallel chronocultural phases, sometimes called cultures or periods. Sometimes their names are derived from European prehistory, at other times from local sites, often where they were first discovered. Prehistory and Stone Age. The southern Levant was one of the major dispersal routes for hominins from Africa to Eurasia in the Neogene period. 3 main routes have been suggested: the Nile Valley, the Red Sea coast via the Sinai Peninsula and the Negev, across the Bab el-Mandeb Straits. Several Stone Ages, when stone tools prevailed and make up the bulk of artifacts, are followed by periods when other technologies came into use. They lent their names to the different periods. The basic framework for the southern Levant is as follows. Paleolithic or Old Stone Age is often divided up into phases called, from early to late, Lower Paleolithic, Middle Paleolithic and Upper Paleolithic. An Epipaleolithic period, also known as Mesolithic, follows and is, in turn, succeeded by a Neolithic. The following Chalcolithic period includes the first evidence of metallurgy, with copper making its appearance. However, as stone technology remains prevalent, the name Chalcolithic Age combines the two. Bronze Age. Bronze is used for the following periods, but is actually a misnomer for a good part of that time. An early Bronze Age is divided into 3 major phases: Early Bronze I, II and III, but copper and not bronze was the most common metal in use, while stone technology continued to contribute the bulk of tools. Early Bronze III is followed by another period, alternately named Early Bronze IV, Middle Bronze I, Intermediate Bronze or Early Bronze, Middle Bronze. In this period the name is apt. True Bronze makes its appearance in this time span. The next period is generally known as Middle Bronze II and is generally broken down into 2 sub-periods, Middle Bronze Era and Middle Bronze IIB. Some scholars acknowledge a Middle Bronze III. The next period is known as Late Bronze and is often subdivided into Late Bronze I and II. Iron Age. The introduction of iron, although relatively rare, especially in the earliest phases, caused the following phase to be named the Iron Age. It is variously subdivided into Iron I, Iron II and sometimes Iron III, with subdivisions becoming increasingly popular as sequences become better known. Some archaeologists suggest that they're in the transition from the Late Bronze Age to the Early Iron Age. The large cultural differences are explained by foreign invasion, that is, the introduction of new ethnicity. More recent evidence indicates that the large cultural changes were not the result of a foreign invasion. Rather, the Iron Age people of the southern Levant were related to their Bronze Age predecessors. Later historical periods. The post-Iron Age is generally thought of as historical, and accordingly names of periods reflect this. The very latest Iron Age phase is sometimes called Assyrian, and the following period is universally known as the Persian period. The 333 BC conquest of the region is accepted as the beginning of the Hellenistic period. The Deuterocanonical Book 2 Maccabees records Apollonius the son of Tharses, who at that time was governor of Celesyria and Phoenicia, Celesyria being the transliteration of Coel Syria. It is followed by early Roman and late Roman periods. The 4th century is recognized as the beginning of the Byzantine period that lasted until the Arab conquest of the region. Later periods are alternately known as Early Araba and sub-periods by the names of reigning dynasties. The Crusader conquest of the region is known, appropriately, as the Crusader period, and it is followed by a Mameluke period after the conquering dynasty.